today's session we are going to implement Spring Security in a Spring Boot project. In the Spring Boot project, we will define username and password through the Spring Boot property like application.property file. So for creating the Spring Boot project, we are going to use Spring Initializer. So I am typing Spring Initializer for creating a project. You will see here there there is one site is appear. You need to click this site, then you will see there is some information needed to add here. So I'm going to create project as a maven, selecting the Spring Boot version as a 3.3.2, adding the group id com.security and adding artifact name is a security test. Here adding package name as a com.security.test, removing the existing description and adding implementation of Spring Security with the adding username and password through property file. Selecting packaging as a Java and selecting Java version 17. Here you will see in the right hand side there is a dependency section. There in the dependency section you need to add Spring Web, Spring Security. Two dependencies are needed for implementing the Spring Security for initial stage. Now if you want to explore the dependency of the form.xml file, then you need to click explore button and clicking the explore button you will see lot of dependency type is there in the form.xml file. You will analyze all the dependencies in this section. Now closing this and clicking the generate button. Now projects are generated in my local system. Here I am going to compress this project. There is just some issue in here, so I'm deleting both project because there is some name convention is there. So I'm adding security test. Here also we are going to add found.security.text. Now clicking the generate button. Here project are generated. Copy this project in one folder which is created in the C drive. In the C drive you will see there is a folder there is Spring Security. I am adding the project in Spring Security folder. Now I am going to IntelliJ. In the IntelliJ you need to import this project. So here there is an option there, file option. You go to file option and click the open button and go to the your project directory and select the project. I am selecting the Spring test project and clicking the OK button. Now you will click new window. Now all the dependencies are downloading here. You will see in the bottom. Once all those are downloaded, then we will start the configuration providing username and password from the property file. Now I think all the are downloaded. Here you will see form.xml. Here all the dependencies which I have added when creating the project you will see here. Now I am going to src main folder. In the src main folder, there is a resource folder there. In the resource folder, there is a application property file is there. In the property file, we are going to define server port of this application. So I am adding server port as a 9090, and here creating a REST endpoint to check. Here I'm going to create a REST endpoint to check the API is working or not. Adding the package as a controller. In the controller package, I'm defining a test class, test controller. In the test controller, I'm defining the REST controller on the class level, defining response entity. Here get test, returning here new response type. I'm adding this is a test controller class. Now adding HTTPS status code dot OK. Here there is a mistake. Need to remove the H last time. Now this method treated as a endpoint, so I'm adding get type here defining as a test context. Now I'm going to run our application. When we are not providing the username and password, then Spring will provide a default password. Default username is user, which is provided by Spring Boot in the by default. So I'm trying to run this application and clicking the run button. Now my application going to run. Once application will run, we will check the endpoints which is created. You will see in the console Spring by default generated a password. You need to log in the application by using this password. If we are not providing any login form, then Spring will provide a default form page. You will see in the UI. I am going to try the access our endpoint which is created. Now you will see there is a login page appear in the screen. Now Spring provide by default username as a user and the password we need to copy from the console which is generated by Spring Boot. I am copying this password, going to the UI. In the UI we need to add the password. Now clicking the sign in button. Once clicking the sign in button, we will get the REST endpoints response. And now in the second step, we are going to add the username and password through the property file. If we adding the username and password from the property file, then Spring Boot doesn't generate a default password as you see in the console. Now I'm going to add username and password on the property file. When clicking the property file, in the property file there is a property Spring Security user.name. In this section, I am adding user as admin and password adding as a admin. Now, I am going to stop this application and trying to run same application again. Now, here, if you see in the console, you will not receive any password which is generated by Spring Boot. Now here there is no password you will see because we have provided the our custom username and password. Now I am going to try the access export endpoint. I am going to incognito mode. The incognito mode we are going to try our created REST endpoint. Then you will see you will redirect it to the default login page. In the login page, we need to add our custom defined username and password. Now, in the defined property file, username as admin and password also defined as admin. And clicking the sign in button. Now, you will get the response because we have tried the correct username and password. Now we are going to try to access the REST endpoint response by using wrong username and password. Here I am trying to add user as a username and password as a admin and clicking the sign in button. You will see a white credential error in the screen. So this is the in this section we have shown you how to add username and password through the property file. So in the next section I will show you how to add username and password in a list through the Java code by using Spring Boot. Thank you.